There we go. Just have to delete it and put it back in. All right. Now, this. Just to make sure that nothing I copied will accidentally show up on screen. All right. Cool. Now let me go adjust this. Go. Oops. Python. Let's check. Nice. I suppose I could also do the rumble. Let's see. Gaming, that's for sure. How to, I guess, be the best one. Python, learning, coding, computing, whatever. Streamer configuration. Rumble. Server. And copy the string key. There we go. All right, now what I'm trying to do with this is trying to get an output like this. The problem here is that doesn't look like there's a space there. Doesn't look like there's a space there, which is all well and good, but it says that there needs to be 2 spaces between each of these, which may or may not be easy or less easy to do. So, 2 plus, sure. Oh yeah, forgot. This one likes to append the new line character, which I'm already on a new line, so I don't want to append a new one. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many there are? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, seems like it. then let's see. So I got the bars there. Now the big problem that I have is that I need to do a similar thing, but going in the opposite direction for the category types. So how am I going to do that? I need to do is get the category types first so that I can know how many of these little things, because you're supposed to have 3 of these things per one of these. I already have category in this. So it's not going to do me any good anymore. Let's see. Category title. I know I have title up here, but that's title for this chart. And the category title needs to be a well, let me do category titles. And that's going to be a list comprehension of join category title for category title in categories. Not categories, it's percent spending. The reason for that is because in my percent spending, I'm having it split these into the necessary O markers that it's requiring. And in order to do that adequately or accurately, then I have it also splitting it for the category. So we can do category titles, food and clothing. Now this should be a list in and of itself. So the only way to really see that, and I hate the way that this thing like wraps, really drives me nuts. We can do a for now, let's just do unpacking of category titles. Which we're going to put in a list. Food, clothing. All right. I'm going to have to do something that's similar for percentage, what I did for percentage marks. That gets it in the downward state, which means that up here I have to create a list of lists. I'm not entirely sure if that's the best way to go about it. That's the thing. Because this one, percentage marks, I have a list of lists. These category titles, I'm going to have to create a list of lists. But it's also going to have to be kind of dynamic. Food and clothing. Let's see. Can we like not have those things popping up all the time? Like, seriously. Hmm. For this one, I have it. I wonder if I could just do a zip. Only one way to find out. Let's go here, say Python. How do I make a list from a list of strings where every letter is its own well, where every letter index is its own list. Python list index. Convert string to a list. Enumerate over a list of strings. Let's see. Converting each string to its own list. List of lists. Thing.split for thing and list of strings. Problem is that this one isn't going to do a split. See? It's like this is a list item now, but it's not a list of letters. can already get that list of letters. What I need is all right. Well, first we'll make a output titles, and I know this gets ugly, but it's just how I experiment. I can always restructure later. Output titles, we'll put that. And then we'll say for let's see, for item in percent spending. Do I want the index there? I don't think so. Int item, which is the food clothing. Yep. Yeah, food clothing. I can also take out these other prints that they're not useful to me anymore. Okay. So then inside this, let's say for I in item shouldn't be item in length of item. Range. Then we're going to say output titles I append I. No, because then that's append item. Okay, so for I in range length item, so let's see, print I is 0. Item is food. Item 0 should be F. Okay. means that here, the output title I should append see kind of the problem here. Part of the problem is that it's iterating over it, and once it gets to the other one, then it's not creating it. It's a good idea though, because I do want index 0 of this to append item 0. Can even say item I is 0, then the item is food. The item index of 0 is F, which I want at index 0. Plus equal 1. Yeah, you don't have to do that with this because it's just going to iterate over it anyway. It's because the output titles doesn't have. Maybe I should do it like this. Nope. That still says out of range. Why? Because if I put this as 0, list assignment index out of range. It shouldn't. Let's see. Python, how to assign an output to a list index. To assign the output of an operation to a specific list index. See? My list at 2, append 100. Index bound, ensure the index we're trying to assign is within the valid range of the list. 0 to length list minus 1. If you want to add an element at a specific index without overriding, possibly. Let's see, list.insert index element. Okay. Insert index I element. Okay. Clothing. G, which isn't bad. It's getting it. It's just getting it in the wrong order. And what I need is for this C and this F to be in the same. Now the question is, how am I going to do that? Needed to assign it to the same thing. The item. Zero, 1, 2, 3. That's correct. Assignment of a variable to the list. Assign output. A list index. And create the index if it's not there. Okay. For item. In percent spending. I need this to append to that. Index, you need to extend the list. Should have like one that extends or overwrites if it's not there. I feel like all of this is just too complicated a response, you know? Like there's already too much here. Or I could say something like output titles dot append none. What was that one? It was append. Takes one argument. Dot append item. Was insert. Insert I. Getting closer. Okay. let's see. We'll say if not output titles I, then this. Problem is that it doesn't allow you to do that. If output titles I'll say else. If non-output titles, okay. That's the problem. Try and see if it's valid, but it just fails it. Let's see. How to use if statement in Python to check if list index exists. Use length. Try accept. Yeah, I suppose I could do that. What that would look like. Try. Except there we go. See how this goes, and it creates the first one. Then it creates the list of lists here. All right. Let's see. Output titles. that's a list of lists, and I want them to be on the same. There we go. Are these empty? Yeah, they look empty. I mean, they could be empty, or they could be anything else, but to me it looks like they're empty. Let's see. Let's try this for a second. Range 8. Okay. Getting so close. So close. All I need to do is get it so that however long it is, and then it adds that many empty spaces. Print. I'll say print output titles right here. Okay. And we can say something like see if we can get the max. Let's see. Output title length equals max between the length of Put title length. Yep, that works. So now we have it so that it gets the appropriate max length. In range, output title length. Now what we want it to do is to try and append. If that fails, we'll insert. Let's see. Can we nest a try? Accept output titles insert I. No. Darn it. As soon as it gets to 4, I wonder if it's just failing because of that. Okay. There we go. Now, only thing we have to do is get 2 spaces between them. One, two. 1, 2. There we go. And then if we say something like auto equals category, auto deposit 100 deposit, auto withdraw 30, engine, then Okay, see, this is why we test things. So now, why do we have these annoying little spaces here? Food. Three, four. Why do we have those there? Print. Shouldn't be doing this. Because of that. If I take those out, see, doesn't add the necessary spaces. Problem is that clothing, being the second one in, should be here. We will tab this in by one. Food. Clothing. Auto. And auto is where it adds those four because it is four separate from that. But why doesn't it add it to these ones that are already there? These ones added. And I have no problem adding the next item. Can't change this to append because that makes things. It is a very strange problem. Very strange. So I can also do two. That needs two in between there too. There's only one in between there. There's two there. Which I know is going to be a problem here. But I don't necessarily care at the moment. Plus, right now I just want to see it mostly working. I could see this because this one is inserting just fine for already existing. Like food, it inserts the empty ones. Let's see. Let's see. Python overwrite list index. Title, say I equals once again. Problem is that the index does already exist. Insert. Print. Output. Titles. I. Let's take out this print. Let's take out that one. This one is kind of helpful. That one we don't need. Food, clothing. And it just cuts it. Why? Print titles. This is only doing it for food. That's food. Man, does this thing have to not work so well? And then where does this stuff come from? Like, my goodness. Print output titles. Food, clothing. Let's see. Can do. And let's see. Take this. Say. Hi there, Mansion Craft. Oh, you're interested in Python? It's a fun language. And of code. Random string or a random series of empty strings in the middle of the output, like so. Oh, I appreciate that. I decided to do something a little bit different tonight. Usually I'm playing games. Tonight I've been trying to figure out what the problem with this particular Python script. Got it so that when I do it just like with the lower one in front, it appends just fine. But if I have a lower one afterwards, it doesn't seem to append the new ones. Let's see. If I pass the strings end. Keeps creating new blank columns. You know, that is right. I could potentially do that. I have a MacBook, but only for work. I usually do most of my gaming here on my computer here. Output title equals. We're going to make this a list comprehension. And then we're going to say take out these things. I don't think I need those try. If the I is less than the length of item. Otherwise, we're going to put an empty string. And then we're going to append that. Output titles I append that. There we go. That's what we needed to do. This one creates the already pre-populated empty list that I need. Because I was trying basically to create it as we go, which doesn't wind up helping me out that much. Nope, I don't do most of my work on a VM. I do it right on the computer. This is all just my home computer. I mean, I have my home computer pretty locked down. It doesn't communicate very much with the outside world, that's for sure. And when it does, it's highly routed and other stuff. So, but I don't use any of that. So good. Now, what I have to do is for the number of categories plus multiplied by the length categories. Oh, so that should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, perfect. Now, what we have to do is I have to get rid of this new line. Yep, I use OBS Studio. I used to use Streamlabs, but now I use OBS. Streamlabs was really good until I ran out of the version, or I ran out of the subscription. So, thing is that with this one, actually, this is joining everything on a new line, and I don't want everything to be on a new line. Just trying to consider how best to do this. So I do need the new line. I guess the problem here is I'm trying to have this one thing do a little bit too much. So what I can do here is do output 1, which once again is ugly, but I can always refactor this after I get it working. And say that this one is, I don't see anything, so we'll do an F string here. This one we're also going to comment out for now, just so that I can work on this new one. Okay, plus output 1. the generator object. That goes there. Plus I take this and we say 1, 2, 3, 4, it said, I think. Oh, it's 4 because of this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. So 4. And then we are going to do one, two, 3 multiplied by the length categories. There we go. Do need to include a space inside that. I will worry about that a little bit later. So double space. Anyway. And then we're going to that which we now have to have an early space on for. So can't all be F strings. Output 2 string 1, and we're going to put this one in there. To say put 2. Okay. We're going to take this. We are going to ask why does this line output never freaking copies it. Freaking A. Copy. And how do I fix it? must be single expression. First is a generator expression that yields strings, something to automatically be joined, and converts that generator object into a string, resulting in. Okay. I mean, I suppose I could take out this. The problem is that I need, well, I guess that's not entirely the worst thing. Why is this not down then? That gives me the exact same problem that I need, that I'm trying to fix. Output to give me one space for the first row and 2 spaces between everything afterwards. No. That's too complicated. It can't be the answer. I know that it's going to give me an error again. But what I need or print output 2. That's what I need, but it doesn't want to give it to me. How am I going to do this? Let's see. One lines up the first one. Only I could, if only I could. Problem is that it's adding the whole thing right there. One space, yeah, one space, one, two space. Well, for this one, it does look like there is a series of 4. to have F strings. Everything that would make this easy, you can't do, and that drives me nuts. It would be very nice if it like said, "Oh, this would make it really easy, so we're gonna allow you to do it." Nope. Doesn't like making things easy for me. I think that this would be like the easiest one to do. You can't because you have to have this one. Let's see. Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. I'm just gonna have to completely redo this whole thing, aren't I? Just to get it to line up. So close. if I'm gonna have to do it, I'm gonna have to do it. I hate this. Return. Has to be new line so that it goes vertical. All right. Let's see. So, first off, we're going to get total spending. Say that is the sum of category.get spending for category categories. Let's make sure print categories. Not categories. Total spending. Oh, whatever. I don't care that it's doing a stupid 0.9 whatever thing. Shouldn't be, but it is. Who cares? Let's see. What else do I need to get? I need to get the percentage used. So percentage spending is going to be see. It's just because I need it to be in tens. Instead of doing float, we'll do integers. And then have it like I had the other one. Category get spending. By total spending. Multiply that by 100 because it comes out to be a version or whatever you call it. And then of course, and that by 10. Category and categories. And this should be a list. Print percentage spending. Oh, come on. Go. It's just because we need them to be whole numbers so that we can get the amount of O's that they want. Then we want the output graph. And since it's going into join, let's make it a list. Output graph. Yay. Then as we build each piece, then we just append it here, and that way, once we join it, we can like create each thing to do its own separate joining, and then join it all together, and hopefully that'll work. So I'm just gonna loop the graph, the sides of the graph, for percentage value. And I do like this way of doing it better. Because that'll do 100, 90, all that, all the way until 0. Okay. And we're going to do we go. Now we need a line. String. There we go. Then, like we did above, we'll align it. It's going to be inside. There we go. Always aligns to the left. Well, I guess it aligns based on the left. And then that way we can add the space. Maybe I could have added the space before. But then I wouldn't be able to format the bottom. Take this out of print. And say that it is line. Like percentage line, I guess. And then for a line in percentage spending. We're going to create this graph. to append it. Okay. So that is that. Let us make the line actually the O character with its necessary indentation so that I don't have to sit there and fight with it, because it's going to indent in front no matter what. Drives me nuts. And then say if 5 by 10 to line up with the levels greater than the percentage value. Else oops. Line. Right? Percentage spending. If the line for your operand type integer and string. Let's see. No, because this is a comparative value. It's greater than percentage value. Yeah. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense to me. You know what? I think I understand what my problem is. This is going into this and feeding in. Okay. So if line, let's just do something like lines. Do I have anything else titled lines? Okay. So for line, we're going to make lines cannot access local variable lines where it's not associated with value. How is it not associated with value? Oh. I'm so dumb because I'm trying to add it. And then my output graph is going to be the percentage line. kind of coming along. Why does that put it out like that though? Maybe, yeah, probably just missed the other thing. Because this would be food, this would be clothing, which only has $20 spending, and this would be auto, which has $30 spending, which is why. All right. That's dumb. I mean, done. Yes, that's what I meant. I'm going to append the leading and the little dashes. Times length of categories divided by 3. Why do I keep doing that? This is for output. Jeez. So now I have this little 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this is lined up with that. Is that what we need? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Needs one more. Plus 1. No. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. All right. And then we're going to say title length is equal to the max of length category for category in categories. It's like we did last time. And then going to say for index and range of title length. What do I want to do? to category I. If that way it lines up properly, just like we did up here. Pretty much exactly the same thing here. And then we're going to say, let's see, title line. I'm going to set that equal to if string. To change this so that it's not like category.category for cat. Output graph append title line. Why is that not showing all of them? Should be 8, yeah. It is 8, just like the last one. Doing the 8. Print. Cat. Oh. It's just printing all of that. Category. Food, clothing, auto. No. Okay. Should also add spaces for the beginning. Change this to a plus. Oh, there we go. That's why. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with my life. And then Looks like that might be it. Create spin chart. Should have the same length. Each line. Chart should have the same length. Bars for different categories should be separated by 2 spaces, an additional 2 spaces after the final bar. OBS, it's not the most advanced one. I apologize. I get really engrossed in what I'm doing, so if I don't see you, I apologize. But it's not the most advanced. So these 3 are failing. Each line should have the same length. I don't know how to tell if this has the same length, though. Maybe get rid of the strip. Yeah. Okay, that's why. So it doesn't want me to take away the last like empty spaces. Oh. Finally. Oh my goodness. Why? It's one thing that I really like this free code camp. Like, I really do. I think that they have a great setup here. But my biggest problem that I have with them is that they require it to be exactly what they're expecting for an output. And that gets troublesome at times because sometimes they're not very clear on what they want for their output. So this is my whole program that follows all of these like outputs, their desires here. So they wanted the category class, a deposit method that accepts an amount and a description. No description is given. It defaults to an empty line. Ledger. Which one should have a ledger? All that. My thing is, I don't know if this would benefit from helper functions, and I don't know exactly how it would implement helper functions into this. This one, I don't know if I'm going to do much more of the recoding of that. Oh, well, I appreciate that, Mansion Craft. So, and then I can do something like Billing equals category. Billing. Billing deposit. 100. Deposit. Billing withdrawal. 30. Lights. And then which one was it? Print billing. And if I feed this in here, there we go. Roughly evens out. Not bad. Not bad. Not the best. Not the worst. Nowhere near as good as my my one billing application that I built on the web. But I'm not trying to redo my HTML React stuff. I'm trying to learn Python. And some of this stuff is really, really confusing. Like, I can think through it and understand each point, but getting to there is just annoying. Anyway. Well, it's currently 2:33. I have to try and try and exactly figure out how to more consistently come to these conclusions without having to rewrite my code 1,000 times. So a lot of this is what I was doing, just in different pieces, and far less usable. I did like this one. Like, this was what I was going to do in the beginning. And then I decided to go for what I thought would be the easier, just put it out approach. And holy cow, that turned out to not be the case. It's better to put it all in, like, all the logic into one. All right. Well, it's been about 2 hours, and it's about 2 o'clock some odd for me. So I'm going to let you go. I appreciate y'all for watching. I hope to see you next time.